Welcome back to episode 17 of our Ocarina of Time walkthrough. In this episode, we will meet a new race called the Zorans, buy some magic beams, and learn an incredible new diving technique. The way to get to Zoran's domain is not that obvious from looking at the map, but there is a small opening on the right-hand side of your map in that wall. The way to get there is to cross over the river coming from Hyrule Castle. Stay all the way to the left. You'll see a little sign in front of you about Zoran's River telling us it has a swift current. Therefore, we can't actually swim upstream. So we'll have to find a different way of getting there. As we enter Zora's River, you'll notice a bunch of grass, a great example of how you can use the newly found spin attack, holding down B and then spinning around. And then we acquire a magic jar, which will refill your magic. It can be found from cutting grass, same as you find from rubies. Now we'll meet Gabor again. This time he actually, as annoying as he can be, has some useful advice for us about Zora's domain and how the Zorans are connected to the royal family and how to open their door. The melody of the royal family, of course, is always Zelda's lullaby. After Kabor flies away, turn to your left. You'll see a tree and roll into it. After defeating the gold statula, select token number 22 if you've been following along with me. And then use your bombs to take care of the boulders in front of us. Alright, as you run through here, you'll notice a cuckoo on the left, surrounded by a bunch of rocks. We'll come back to him, but first there's a Hylian in front of us, selling magic beans. They're not selling very well, but we're about to change that, because we're going to buy a whole bunch. So, 10 rubies for the first one, and they can be planted in any soft spot of soil, where we've been dropping all the bugs in to get the gold statulas. The more that you buy, the more popular that they get, therefore the price will go up. So the next one will be 20 rubies, followed by 30 rubies. He will keep telling you about how popular that they're becoming. But it's worth it to buy essentially as many as we can right now. They're magic beans, so they will make something magical happen wherever they're planted. Unfortunately, it does take a while, a few years, so it is quite a bit of delayed gratification involved in this. Alright, I've gone ahead and purchased 4 of them because that's all the rubies that we have. We don't have enough to buy anymore. And then go ahead and plant one in the soft spot of soil right next to the beam salesman. And right away, a little sprout will pop up. I wonder what that will become over the period of years. Well, anyway, turn around and run back to where the cuckoo is, and we're going to use him to get across the river. Because if you remember from earlier when we played the cuckoo game, we could fly with them. So go ahead and jump across the river, and every time we jump, the cuckoo will carry us in flight for a short portion of time. So you'll notice a piece of heart up there on that pillar. You can be obtained later on using the magic bean that we planted, but we're going to go and get it right now. So the way of doing that is to go ahead and throw the cuckoo right as you're making that jump. So right before you hit the ledge, throw the cuckoo, and then you'll be able to jump up, make a right-hand turn, and jump to the other pillar to grab a piece of heart. Then we'll have to jump back down and grab the cuckoo again. I'm going to go and play Sun Song to make it daytime again, just for the purpose of the walkthrough video, making everything easier to see. Unfortunately, I kind of messed this up. I accidentally threw him for some reason, and then I wasn't able to pick him back up again, and he jumped down into the river. So if this happens, unfortunately, we weren't able to pick him back up again. So he jumped up there on that ledge, and then the only way of getting back to him was I had to re-exit Zora's River and then come back in. So get back to where we were. And this time, go on past that ledge. And then when we get up to this next ledge, you have to throw him, jump back up, and then pick him back up again. And then we'll jump back across the river. And you'll have to throw him again, jump up there, and then pick him back up again. And make a left-hand turn. We'll go across the little water there. You can walk across that bit. And over the bridge. That purple thing there is called an Octorok. They'll shoot nuts at you that you can either reflect back with a berry shield or else just avoid. It's kind of a cool area here, right in front of Zora's River, where the waterfall is. Alright, there's another piece of part there to the left, and since we have the cuckoo, we can use him to fly and grab yet another piece of part. Now, there's a ladder, if you look, and we're going to jump right down there. And don't fall in the river, because if you do, you're going to get washed away, which is what happened. And so we had to come all the way back once again. Ideally, just jump down so you're not in the current. Or you can do what is safer and climb down the ladder. And at night, there's a gold statula there. So we can collect token number 23. Our next objective is to get into Zora's domain, and we learned from our owl friend earlier that they will only answer to the royal family that they're connected to. So if you run back to that placard that you noticed right at the base of the waterfall here, it says, "The flow of this waterfall serves the king of Hyrule. Where the king slumbers, so do these falls." So to make it slumber, we need to play Zelda's Lullaby. Now, to anyone that hasn't played the game before, I highly encourage you to talk to the Zorans. You'll learn a lot about their history, as well as the history of the royal family. A lot of good information. But anyway, we're going to just run all the way up the hill and meet the Zoran king at the top. And if we talk to him, we'll learn about how his daughter, Princess Rudu, has been missing. He's very worried about her. Well, before we can help Princess Rudu, we need to play a little game called the diving game in order to learn how to dive deeper. So if you jump around to the left and talk to the Zoran here, she'll offer to let you play the diving game for 20 rubies. And you can actually make money at this game because you get to keep all the rubies that you pick up, assuming that you do well. Right. So she throws all the rubies in the water, and we just have to dive down after them. We have 50 seconds to get them. This game isn't very hard, but you just have to swim right above where the rubies are at. You can actually go and even pick them up 2 at a time on one dive. So just get right above where they're at and then dive down and pick them all up. Now we need to go back up to where she was at again in order to collect our prize. And again, it's very useful to talk to the Zorans if you haven't already. Alright, upon obtaining the silver skill, we can now dive much deeper than we can before. So that actually opens up a new part of the game here where you are able to collect things underwater that we could not have before. But before we utilize it, go ahead and run back out to where the king was, and you'll see some fire. Pull out some Decker sticks, and we're going to use them to light torches once again. Now run down the steps and light the torch at the bottom. That's actually a wooden torch, so that one will remain permanently lit. Will never go back out again, unlike the metal ones. And after lighting that one, go around to the left, past the Zora in the shop there, and there's a torch right in front of that. Stay to the right, run along the water. It's shallow on the right-hand side here. There's one torch there, and then right behind this waterfall, there's two torches. Light the one on the right first, and then the other one in order to make a chest appear. Alright, that completes another entire heart container. If you've been following along with me, that should be our 12th piece of heart, out of 36 total heart pieces in the game. Alright, jump back into the water, we'll notice a door underwater. We can now dive deep enough, thanks to our newly acquired diving skill, to be able to go inside. That concludes this video. Thank you for joining me. Please join me for the next video where we will visit Lake Hylia.